Hello folks, welcome to another great edition of Bite Mart Masters, Comfort Foods Edition. I'm glad you're able to join us today. Today we're going to be making chicken over biscuit soup. So I have my frying pan going already, and I have some marinated chicken. What I did was I marinated in some liquid smoke, a little garlic, onion powder, basil, and oregano. With this chicken marinated already into the liquid smoke, as soon as it hit the frying pan, it already smelled amazing. What I did was went with a tablespoon of liquid smoke and basically a pinch or two of the rest of the seasoning, because I really don't want my chicken to overwhelm the flavor. I want a basic cream broth taste. So this is going to contradict a lot of my other flavors. Other than the fact that the chicken has a liquid smoke, this is going to be almost a bland or creamy. I want the buttercream of the soup flavor here. So pretty much this is going to be a waiting game. Normally I make a one-pot dishes, and this is also going to be a one-pot dish. I'm making it for an audience of 1 or 2. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my chicken pieces. As you can see, they're not quite done. They're still a little pink. And I am going to wind up chopping these here, because you don't want these big chunks in your soup. So in this recipe, you're going to want to do boneless, skinless chicken breast. If you're not a white meat kind of person, you can definitely do the thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and get the dark meat. A couple other things that I do have for this recipe is frozen mixed vegetables. I got some half and half, 2 cups, basically a cup of that, some water, a little butter, and some cream of chicken mushroom soup, or excuse me, a cream of chicken soup. And then of course your famous salt and pepper. Now what this dish is going to wind up doing is, once it's done, I'm going to pour it over the biscuits. I basically cheated on this recipe for the sake of time, and went and bought some basic frozen biscuits and cooked them in the oven. They're already ready to go, and you'll see those once this soup is done. What I'm waiting for is for my chicken to be 75% cooked, and it looks just about that way. And I'm not going to dice too fancy on this. I'm just going to go little pieces. While I'm doing this, I'm going to actually turn my stove down a hair bit. And if you look a little closely, you can actually see there's a hint of pink here. So you can tell that it's not fully cooked. Now I'm going to add in my frozen vegetables. As you can see, there's not that many. And once again, normally as I cook, you often know that I have tons of seasoning sitting here to add into my food. And I'm not going to do that with this here. I really want this soup to be flavorful from the cream itself. So I'm going to first add in the milk, or excuse me, the half and half. I got it coming to a nice little boil again. And what I'm doing now is making sure I have bite-sized pieces of chicken, so I'm using my spat to cut down the pieces and make sure that they cut in half correctly. And I'm going to add in my butter. And what I'm doing here is just making the buttermilk quicker. And I wait. Now, what you could do is use some minced onions. What I did was go with some green onions here for this time, just for the color, as well as a little flavor. And now we add the cream of chicken. So I put in most of the can of chicken soup, and I am going to use the entire can. But what I'm going to do right here is mix it in and allow my soup to get blended well. Now, this you want it to be a little thick and creamy, but not too thick. Now I'm going for some water. Next, I'm going to re-add the rest of my cream of chicken soup. There we go. It's looking good and smelling good for sure. I've turned my eye down to medium. What I'm going for now is the consistency, and I go by the consistency by just the look of it. I like the thickness of my broth at present. Want to have the equal amount of cream or a little bit more cream or my soup base to the vegetables that I currently have in here and the meat I have in here. I'm going to let that come to a complete good boil. And once again, I said that I had already made my biscuits, and you can look and see the reason why I actually went with this biscuits is they actually look and taste like restaurant style biscuits, and frankly it's pretty much better than what I could do for biscuits. So like I said, I was basically making this is a 2-person recipe. I put it in a bigger bowl, but you can see it's not going to feed too much more than that. Just going to add a couple more green onions, a hint of black pepper, and voila, there you have it. A great comfort food that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Thanks again for joining us, and I see you next time on Bite Bar Masters.